What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Sports Talk with BK. I'm your host, BK, and this is my YouTube channel where I'm just talking about the NFL and also getting recruited and other hot topics that are going on with all things football. My opinion on it, like it or love it, and see what happens. And yes, I said like it or love it because you can't hate it. Okay, so let's get right into a couple of topics. So Cam Newton just had off-season shoulder surgery from a Week 14 injury against the Chargers. He just had the surgery now, which we're pretty much in April, and he had the surgery now. He's going to miss all of OTAs, and he's expected to be out for about 12 weeks. This is kind of interesting to me because they elected to do rehab and other things on it instead of going for the surgery right after the season. They were out of playoff contention. He played in games that were probably meaningless towards the end, which I'm not knocking him for because I wouldn't want to miss any games either. But the point is that he was injured to the point where he needed surgery, and he waited until the middle of the off season, and he's going to end up missing OTAs and other valuable time that's going to happen. He'll be back for training camp, but the problem is him missing OTAs is valuable time with his wide receivers to get down timing and other things like that. I just felt like it was a kind of a mistake. They probably should have waited out the time frame and probably got him to get the surgery a little bit sooner so that way he could have shortened the recovery time in the back end and been ready to be at work with his team and other things like that. So we'll see what happens. He said that he should be out about 12 weeks, which is about 3 months. So we'll see what happens when he comes back and gets ready for training camp. And hopefully everything goes good and he's successful in doing everything right and being ready for training camp. We'll see how that goes. The next topic is they found Tom Brady's jersey, y'all. They found it in Mexico. How did that happen? My thing about it is this. They did a more thorough investigation than he had during Deflategate. I mean, it took a year before he even was suspended for Deflategate, but they found his jersey in Mexico less than 6 weeks later. It makes no sense to me. Basically, the NFL chose to go hard on this jersey situation and find out where it was because of the sports memorabilia thing and everything that's going on, which makes sense. I'm not knocking him. It's crazy to me that they did a more thorough investigation for his jersey being missing than they did for deflated balls in a playoff game, which really had no bearing because they ran the ball up Indianapolis's right up the middle on Indianapolis the whole time. But the problem is that why are they not thoroughly investigating Deflategate? Why did they wait so long for that? So that just shows exactly like what's going on in the NFL. They need to have their priorities a little bit more, and also I guess it really just depends on the person and what it is that's going on, which was a little bit crazy to me. So the next topic that I have is Colin Kaepernick is still a free agent, still looking for a job. Could it be performance? Maybe, but he had a 2-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio last season, and he's been on that steady incline for the past 3 seasons. He actually has been throwing on average 41. He's had 41 touchdowns and 19 interceptions over the past 3 seasons, which is about 2-to-1. But he still hasn't been signed. Could it be the kneeling, which he said that he wasn't going to kneel during this off season? He said that he was going to stand up and find different ways to participate instead of kneeling and being a kind of distraction for the team that he's going to go to, which makes sense because you want to portray yourself as being a team guy. You don't want to go in as a free agent and say, oh, well, I'm going to do this because this is what I've been doing. Like, you kind of want to change it up, but people are knocking him for that, but I don't see any problem with it. I mean, he's trying to change and evolve, and he's been putting his money where his mouth is. He's been donating millions of dollars to different charities and organizations, which has been good. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully he gets signed somewhere. Probably I could see him going to like the Jets or someplace like that. So we'll see where he goes and see what he does. Hopefully he'll still be able to perform at a high level, and hopefully he gets a coach that kind of was like Harbaugh, who got the best out of him. So another topic that I have is Adrian Peterson has narrowed his choices down to the Oakland Raiders and to the Green Bay Packers. Both teams are good. Both teams are on the rise. I feel like both teams have a legitimate shot at probably making it to the championship games, if not Super Bowls. And both teams have great offenses where he'll be able to do something with 2 dynamic quarterbacks. I could see him coming to Oakland just because Oakland has a really good offensive line. They have Derek Carr, they have Amari Cooper and Michael Crabtree, and he'll be able to run the ball and really exploit defenses if they want to double cover one of those two wide receivers on the outside. Whereas Green Bay's decent, but they have Aaron Rodgers. And as Dion says, Aaron Rodgers is like that. So he's going to want to go to a place with somebody that's been a proven winner, somebody that's won a Super Bowl before, and a team and a coach that knows how to do it. Me personally, if Marshawn Lynch doesn't come back and come to the Oakland Raiders, I would want Adrian Peterson there just because it would bring some kind of liveliness to the Bay Area, and also it would give Raider fans some hope. Although they do talk a lot, they're still going to talk regardless of whether they get him or not. But it'll be a good look for them, and it'll be also a good look for Adrian Peterson because, number one, he has Derek Carr, he has two good wide receivers, and he has an offensive line that is really, really good. So I could see him coming to either or, but hopefully he brings down his demands because they were saying that he wanted to be paid the same way that he was, but it really just depends on the team that he goes to and the cap room that they have at this point. So we'll see what happens. So those are my sports takes for this week. Like, comment, and let me know what you want, and also click the links in my bio and see what happens. So thank you again, and we'll get back to you soon.